Hi, everyone. Waking up from the pause. We're super excited to have a fireside chat today with Alex from Rarible. My name is Vanessa. I'm the head of portfolio growth at CoinFund. I've been in the space for a while and have the pleasure of working very closely with Alex as we were pre-seed and seed investors in Rarible.
And A as well.
And A as well, and maybe B. We'll see. So today I just want to start with sort of your story, Alex, and how you got to create Rarible, which is now a huge marketplace, and just want to go through the founder's journey around that.
Yeah, thank you. That's a great question. So, I'm actually have pretty long history in crypto. I joined the space early in 2012, and you couldn't do much back then, like trade Bitcoin, right? Let's trade Bitcoin, and we created all sorts of like financial stuff, and then like assembled the team, experience. There was like a long journey, and I think the important moment was in 2018 after this like ICO crash and everyone was down. I started to like research this space, and there was a realization that finally blockchain is probably a little bit more ready for consumers to. It's not just like crazy hard anymore. You don't need to download Mist and like wait until the node will synchronize. There's like MetaMask, Fortmatic that allows you to create a wallet. There are on-ramp solutions, and every wallet already had this like collectibles tab in it, and it was kind of empty, no NFTs, but the infrastructure was there. So we started to look for what would be the cool things to build in this space and what our consumers want. It's usually something like fun and visual and engaging. That's why NFT is. And so everybody knew about NFTs, obviously in the space, CryptoKitties, but not much was done. And so we came to the market with this thesis. Okay, NFTs are cool, but we don't really know what will be the use case of that. So we created the tool that allows you to create your NFT, just like simple, white, clean stuff, no permission, just connect your wallet, upload a picture, a name and description, and literally like hit the create button. So and then like let the users experiment. What will happen? What will take off? And crypto took off. That's basically the story. How are we here?
And what do you attribute the success of Rarible to? You and your co-founder, came in early, but what make it took off?
Well, maybe a luck, but if I try to decompose, probably like the fact that we spent some time in the space before definitely helped. We were familiar with all wallets and infrastructure and all sorts of things like that. UI is one of the like super important things. Especially for the consumer market. It's not like you have a DeFi where the main factor would be like the effectiveness of the platform. It's like how cool is it to use. So we put a lot of resources to create it like fun and clean and simple. Basically like we're doing like pixel perfect UI for the same time, and that was very important. And timing, yes, we were there before the NFT market took off, and everything that you build, everything you just go on Twitter, you put, we created this tool, and everybody like, wow, there's no things like that. And you put something else like a leaderboard, and everybody's like, wow, there is a leaderboard now. So the community helps when there's like less things built. Right now, everybody's like building marketplaces and stuff, a lot of noise. It's much harder to do new stuff, and we're still doing.
So there are a lot of new marketplaces that are coming up. Coinbase, Kraken are launching NFT marketplaces. Incumbents like OpenSea are still have staying power here. How do you see these new players coming in, and how is that going to affect sort of consumer behavior or access?
Yes, everyone is doing NFT marketplace now. Like everyone, all companies have NFT strategies, and they've seen the success of the marketplaces. It's a super appealing model for investors as well. It has network effects. Once you're there, it's a very good position on the market. So a lot of people doing marketplaces, and most of the new marketplaces right now are differentiating because of their niche. So they're like either go to specific chain, let's say like it's a Solana marketplace, or it is Flow, Tesla's marketplace, or they are differentiating by the vertical of the assets. The best for sports in terms of, in case of Flow, for example, best for games on Solana, some of the marketplaces. Somebody is like making celebrity-only marketplace. So it's a standard thing in marketplace theory, right? The verticalization over time. At first, we had like one Craigslist, and then we have all sorts of like vertical marketplaces that spun out of that. And interesting mechanics, like LuxRare came with the interesting mechanic with the token, which is sort of like a differentiating point in terms of community aligning. There is some issues with that, but it was one of the like most probably notable things that came out latest.
So Rarible is a marketplace, but it's also a protocol. So given the multiplication of marketplaces and various protocols, how are you thinking about engaging cross-chain, and what's your vision for the protocol?
Yes, thank you for that. Again, as we see more and more marketplaces that are coming to the market, it is important for us as well to have our own niches. And the best thing that is like waiting us in 2022 is the multi-chain, of course. The future is multi-chain. Ethereum accounts for 40% of the users on the market right now. That's if we count like Axie and Ronin. So 40% of users and 90% of the volume. It's a clear sign like new users are coming to different chains. They're picking their favorites. So multi-chain is the big thing for us. And also the protocol, we are sort of not exactly a marketplace even. We're a protocol, and just a Rarible is one of the front ends that works on top of that protocol. There are multiple other like front ends that are building on top of the protocol. Birion used protocol when they came up with their NFT feature. That's basically where I see the market evolving towards the sync of the trading activity to the protocol. But we can talk about that later. Yeah.
And so if you think about marketplaces, at least as an investor, we think at the supply side and then the demand side. And so right now we see PFPs, we see art. How do you think that's going to evolve? And is there, all the focus is going to be on PFPs? How do you see the market evolving, and how are you approaching this?
Yes. So in 2020, the whole 2020 was about crypto art. It was the thing in itself. Let's upload some pictures to the blockchain, and we will get NFTs out of them. Like trash art community, Nifty Gateway sold like a lot of stuff, what the art market segment kind of shrank after that, because it sort of has infinite supply. If you're an artist and your art sells well, you create more art until it stops selling. That's what basically happened, and people on the secondary market, they still like prefer to buy from the artist from the first hand rather than from the second, and that's why this market mechanic didn't really work for a lot of art projects. So we still see individual artists that are successful, like Habibi, Lirona, Kid 8, and they are doing like rare drops with limited supply, always support their secondary market. And I think that specifically gave birth to this like PFP trend, a very important part of which is the limited supply. You always have 10,000 items. and they have the interesting market dynamics when they get up in price, basically. So the whole 2021 year was about PFPs. And people started from more or less the second part of the year. Everybody started trading PFPs, and I think the 2022, at least the first half of that, and maybe the second, will be a lot about PFPs as well. So we see the expansion of the buyer community. At first, that was like sort of like marginal guys that like blockchain first, blockchain native, and the strengths of the culture that they built is really appealing. So now we see all these like rappers, celebrities coming as like late stage sort of consumers of Bored Apes. And now I just like I was showing Vanessa my Twitter feed, like maybe 10% of people don't have PFPs on their avatar in my Twitter feed. So it's a clear market with Twitter that came with this feature that allows you to put NFT on the avatar. Other like OnlyFans too, I guess. other social networks would follow. You will be able to put NFTs on the avatar. So the PFP market is sort of like a blue chip. It reminds me the trading of cryptocurrencies from one hand. So there are funds that are like Flamingo DAO that are buying blue chips. There are other funds are doing that. People are tracking indexes. There is portfolio trackers. So it's all the same mechanics, but in the same time, it's shows the cultural relevance when you use it as avatar. So there is there is utility for this. And as a trend, I see this all moving. So the NFT is like it's a shell. You can attach it to a lot of things. And what we see right now is this things that NFTs are attached to, they increase their utility. So like, okay, put on avatar, it's one utility. Vote in a DAO, another utility. Get an airdrop. Why everybody is so excited about this like ape token? Because people are like, it adds utility to the ape themselves. So people are looking for NFTs that can be used somewhere, and for example in the game. So after the PFPs, we'll probably see a lot of like game assets. Like Clone X, that it's a 3D avatar, you can use it in the game. It makes a ton of sense to me.
And what do you think about NFTs and communities and DAOs? Is that something that you think will continue to develop?
Definitely. So this is the major trend that we see. Basically, NFTs right now are communities. What is the strength of Bored Apes? Like half of the supply was minted by the core NFT community, Pranksy, his friends, and they basically were like the coolest guys in the NFT space, and that's why Bored Apes are so cool. That's why it's so cool to have it. That's why it's expensive. It's just like a ticket to the social club that all are the. If you get on Twitter, all the like CEOs of companies, successful creative people have it. It's a part of the club, and we see the like compartmentalization of communities. You go to the community website, you minted your first NFT there, you stay there for the secondary market, you stay in their Discord. It's sort of like this like a siloed community in itself. And there's like some royalties that go to the treasury. You vote with your NFT how the treasury will be spent. It's exactly the community. And I have this even like thesis about that community is probably the only scarce things in the metaverse. Like there is in real life we have houses, land that somebody can own. It's scarce assets. But when we go digitally, what's scarce? Only people and creativity and how much work you can do. You can always have more land in the metaverse. So yeah, NFTs, strengths again, is the community. Community is scarce, and the best NFTs are the best community.
And in terms of sort of the demand, have you seen a shift in like who is buying NFTs, and how is that impacting your strategy for Rarible?
Yeah, we briefly covered that already. People are, right now, NFTs are bought by all the same people who buy the usual cryptos. And when the almost have the quantitative approach to them. Okay, which NFTs should I buy that will like go up in price, that the floor prices are tracking, and there is this consumer part. I'm buying an NFT because I just want to have it. I don't want to flip it. I just want to have it in my wallet. I want to gift it to somebody. I want to use it on my social network. I want to be part of the club, and here we see the expansion of the user base. So at first it was like crypto native guys. Now we see. So one example of that would be, MoonPay have a concierge service. You can send them like 200,000 in a bank account, and they will buy you a Bored Ape. That's like a clear sign to me of like how more broad becomes the community, the buying community that purchases NFTs. Yes, it's like consumer expansion. I would name it.
And so, for these consumers or new consumers or existing consumers, what is important to them for an NFT? What for the marketplace? Sorry, in terms of experience, in terms of features, how are you thinking about to the future about what marketplaces need to offer? Are they continuing to be marketplaces? Are they going to be a totally new type of feature? Is it going to be our new bank? We start with NFTs and then we add DeFi. How is that going to plan out?
Yes, I think there is quite. So let me tell you. Let's start here. The consumer that is coming to buy an NFT that they just want to use on their PFP, their journey is sort of, okay, they saw that like a lot of cool guys on Twitter have doodles on the avatar. And they go to marketplaces and they probably see doodles in just like the top collection list. So the leaderboard is important because that's all the coolest collections. Then they see the doodles on the leaderboard, and then okay, they need to buy a doodle that suits their personality. So they go to filters and they filter, what's the color of the hair, what's available on sale. They sort by prices. So this discovery experience of how do I find this particular PFP that will suit me in an affordable price range rather than just like something super expensive. That's the common journey. And then you probably sometimes and you make a bid if you don't think that you have enough money to buy something that is available on sale, and eventually you've got an NFT, right? That's the consumer path. I think what's the more interesting would be the trader path, and the traders that are looking at like, okay, floor prices, what's growing, what's gonna be next. Sometimes they just want to have any NFT. And for those guys, we specifically created the feature like you can make a bid for the whole collection. You can just anybody would be able to accept that. All these 10,000 people would receive a bid, and anybody would be able to accept that. The statistics, what is historical floor price, sort of like the Coinbase experience for traders. What's missing right now? I think important things is first, marketplaces are taking the role to verify collections. So, for example, if you just observe the blockchain and you found the CryptoPunks collection, you don't know if that's a real CryptoPunks or not. And the only way to know that would be, okay, somebody needs to know the address of that collection. And usually, marketplaces have the blue ticks or yellow ticks to confirm that this is exactly this collection. I see the possibility to create something like Uniswap created for ERC20 tokens, like this registry of important collections, maybe token curated registry, because right now it's like a glaring issue. The front ends are responsible for verifying collections. This is something that maybe you can guys build. Also, financialization of NFTs. Okay, I have my NFT. What do I do with that next? Can I take a loan with that NFT? If I can take a loan with that NFT, that means that, oh, I can probably short it. If there is a lot of like supply, I can buy some NFT, I can sell it, I can loan some NFT, I can sell it, and then maybe I need to buy it back. So financialization of NFTs, the bridging the gap between NFT and DeFi, I think it will be the huge, like in 2022, 2023. So things to do there, like purchase finance, like loans, price discovery, how much this NFT costs. The only metric we have is floor price. It's kind of insane, right? How much this NFT costs, the sorting by rarity, things like that, super important for the market. Maybe you guys can build something like that.